panic sets in. Russia's shock threat traps Canada plus Carney's power grab revealed. Canada, often hailed as a bastion of stability and diplomacy, now finds itself ensnared in a web of multifaceted crises that threaten to undermine its historical identity. Under the stewardship of Prime Minister Mark Carney, the nation is grappling with escalating threats from Russia, alongside a slew of internal challenges that are testing the very fabric of Canadian society. This comprehensive analysis delves into the complex crises confronting Canada, spanning geopolitical tensions in the Arctic to domestic upheavals that call into question the government's effectiveness and accountability. The Arctic region, long regarded as a symbol of Canada's sovereignty, has morphed into a crucial battleground in the realm of global geopolitics. Russia's renewed military initiatives in this area, which include the reopening of Cold War-era military bases and a marked increase in patrols, have sent shockwaves through Ottawa. These aggressive maneuvers not only threaten Canada's territorial integrity, but also jeopardize its strategic interests in the Northwest Passage and the surrounding maritime waters, which are vital for trade and resource extraction. In light of these developments, Prime Minister Carney has put a premium on the urgency of bolstering Canada's Arctic defenses. The federal government is fast-tracking investments in military infrastructure, advanced technology, and enhanced surveillance systems to counteract Russian advancements effectively. However, these initiatives come at a steep financial cost, placing a strain on the federal budget and igniting heated debates about resource allocation. Critics argue that while national security is paramount, the government must consider the long-term implications of such spending on other essential services. Compounding the geopolitical challenges are Canada's economic vulnerabilities, which have reached a critical tipping point. A staggering 1.6% contraction in GDP during the second quarter of 2025, coupled with soaring inflation and climbing interest rates, has significantly weakened the nation's financial standing. These economic challenges have severely constrained the government's ability to fund defense initiatives, raising concerns about potential austerity measures that could adversely affect Canadian citizens. The ramifications of economic instability are felt across various sectors, from healthcare to education, creating a palpable sense of anxiety among the populace. As the government grapples with its fiscal limitations, the public is increasingly aware of the trade-offs involved in prioritizing national security over essential services. The challenge lies in striking a delicate balance between meeting immediate defense needs and ensuring the long-term welfare of Canadian citizens. On the diplomatic front, Canada faces a precarious balancing act. While striving to align closely with NATO allies in response to Russian aggression, it must also navigate its often complicated relationship with the United States, particularly under the unpredictable administration of President Donald Trump. His erratic policies, including tariffs that have disproportionately affected Canadian goods, add layers of complexity to Canada's foreign policy landscape. This situation necessitates that Prime Minister Carney adopt a nuanced approach to safeguard national interests while remaining a reliable ally. The implications of U.S. trade policies on Canada cannot be overstated. Trump's tariffs have led to significant economic repercussions, forcing Canada to reconsider its positions on various trade agreements and policies. The challenge lies in ensuring that any responses are not merely reactionary but also strategically aligned with Canada's long-term economic interests. Carney's administration must tread carefully to maintain a delicate equilibrium between asserting Canadian sovereignty and cooperating with a powerful neighbor. Domestically, Prime Minister Carney's leadership is increasingly under scrutiny. His rapid ascent to the leadership of the Liberal Party, followed by a snap election in April 2025, which resulted in a minority government, has raised questions about his political maneuvers. Critics contend that Carney's centralization of power and swift policy shifts reflect a consolidation of authority that undermines democratic processes and erodes public trust. The introduction of economic austerity measures by the Carney administration has ignited public discontent, manifesting in protests and demands for accountability. While essential services such as healthcare, education, and individual transfers remain protected, cuts to other government programs and a leaner federal workforce have exacerbated tensions. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne's endorsement of these austerity measures has further polarized public opinion, leading to a backlash against the government's leadership. The government's response to U.S. trade policies, particularly those implemented under Trump's administration, has become a focal point of criticism. Carney's decision to delay the implementation of Canada's electric vehicle sales mandate, originally set by former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, exemplifies the economic strain caused by these tariffs. While some view this delay as a pragmatic adjustment to the current economic landscape, others perceive it as a capitulation to external pressures that could jeopardize Canada's long-term sustainability in emerging industries. Furthermore, Carney's outreach to figures associated with Trump's Project 2025 has raised eyebrows among political analysts and the public alike. While such outreach is ostensibly intended to foster dialogue, it has been interpreted by some as an attempt to align Canadian policies more closely with U.S. interests. This perceived alignment raises concerns about potential compromises to Canadian national sovereignty and the broader implications for domestic policymaking. As Canada stands at this critical juncture, the dual threats of Russian aggression in the Arctic and economic instability, exacerbated by U.S. trade policies, challenge the nation's security and prosperity. Prime Minister Carney's leadership is under intense scrutiny as he navigates these turbulent waters. His ability to balance defense priorities with economic realities, uphold democratic principles, and maintain Canada's sovereignty will significantly influence the nation's trajectory in the coming years. In these unprecedented times, the resilience and unity of Canadians will be paramount. The decisions made today will not only shape Canada's immediate future, but also its long-term role on the global stage. As citizens grapple with the ramifications of both internal and external pressures, the call for accountability, transparency, and leadership will resonate loud and clear. The road ahead may be fraught with challenges, but it is also an opportunity for Canada to reaffirm its commitment to its values, its people, and its place in the world.